Hi, everyone. Welcome to our 4-week mini training, How to Connect to the Core. So I wanted to provide these classes for you so that you get a better sense of what actually makes up your core, how to access your core, and to kind of demystify it so that you understand that really you can be training your core and finding your core and feeling that support that comes from the core pretty much any time of the day. You don't have to wait till you start exercising, doing traditional abdominal exercises, because first of all, the core is much more than just your abdominals. And secondly, your core is always working for you. So it has an inherent quality to actually activate just before you start moving. This happens without you even thinking about it. It's an unconscious reaction to some of the deep stabilizing muscles around your deep center and into your back. So because they're already ready, in a sense, to work for you, when we tap into them with more mindfulness, when we think about activating them, when we do it with proper breath work and posture, we can feel stronger and create more stability. So it's really just building on the inherent properties that our core is already intuitively designed to do. So it's kind of cool, right? So today being lesson 1, I want us to really start with that foundation. The breath and posture are 2 super important elements to helping your core function in its most optimal position. And why is that? Well, when we think about the core, we're talking not just about your abdominals. Like in the old days, we would train the abdominals. Now everybody's talking about training the core, which includes your abdominals, but it also includes the diaphragm, which is the breathing or respiratory muscle, the pelvic floor, which is the bottom of the core, and awareness about how all of this structure is designed to support and provide tension, rigidity, but also mobility around your trunk. So it's more than just your abdominals, breathing and posture. Posture is key because the alignment of our spine, the alignment of our lungs, the alignment of the rib cage and the pelvis have a relationship on how that diaphragm will move and how the abdominals will be able to contract or co-contract, as well as helping some of those muscles that don't need to work so hard relax. So posture helps us to find a more relaxed position where the body can move in its optimal way and the breath and the core can work together better. Okay, so building from that foundation is really important. So let's talk about that and look at a few things we can do to improve our breathing and our posture and put those together, starting to feel how our core is a combination of those pieces. Are you ready? Okay, I know you are. So I'd like you to stand up. I'd like you to find your feet hip width apart on the ground, shoes off preferably so you can feel your feet. And with that balanced position of left and right. So just shift a little bit left and right and sort of feel, okay, I'm more on the weight on one side, I'm more the weight on the other. And then find that center place where you can ground down through both feet equally. Also check in that you're not gripping with your toes or leaning backwards. Okay, so we want to feel that the feet can kind of spread into the earth, making a nice wide foundation for us to stand on. And already you might sense how there's already become an activation of supports up from your feet to your core. And if you didn't notice that, don't worry, it'll come. So building from the feet, the foundation, we get up to the tops of the legs, the pelvis, and we want to find that the pelvis is sitting level on tops of the thigh bones. So I'll just turn side to you for a moment. If you have a habit of being tucked under or bringing the pelvis underneath you, the chest collapses. You see how that happens simultaneously? My buttocks get tucked under and my belly feels compressed. Now, for some people, they might think this feels strong, but I'll suggest to you that that position is not optimal for your breath or your internal organs. So we want to find the pelvis sitting level, not tucked under. We want to find the ribs over the pelvis, vertical, so aligned, as opposed to being flexed forward or shifted forward. And both of these things I see happen a lot with my students, either that dropped, compressed chest or the rib cage shifted forward where there's now a lot of tension and load in the low back, in the mid back, and actually a stretching through the belly. So we want to find the happy place. It always comes back to our Goldilocks principle. So the rib cage back over the pelvis over the ankles, the chest just nice and balanced, not being forced to lift, just feeling open. The ears back over your shoulders and your shoulders down on your back. Now, I know sometimes we think that, I just have bad posture, and posture is always changing depending on what you're doing in your day, but having an awareness of where this balanced static position, trying to come back to that often so you feel that groundedness through both feet, that lengthening up through the spine, the level pelvis, the ribs back, the shoulders back and down, the ears over your shoulders, and that alignment now allowing energy to flow easily up and down through your core, through your trunk, through the spine. So that's our first piece of the puzzle. The second piece is the breath. We're going to practice the breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now, there are many ways to breathe, okay? So Pilates breath is just one breath pattern, but it's useful for helping us, again, learn the correlation and connection of breath with core. So as you breathe in through your nose, I wish for you to expand your rib cage three-dimensionally, not elevating the shoulders, not pushing out through the stomach. So we want to keep that pelvis level and then breathe, inhaling out through the ribs. As you exhale, blow through the mouth like you're blowing through a straw, feeling your abdominals collect a little more. So as we inhale, the ribs will open and expand. As we exhale, they'll return or close. As we inhale, the diaphragm descends. As we exhale, the diaphragm lifts. Inhale, the ribs widen. Exhale, they close. Inhale, the diaphragm descends. Exhale, the diaphragm lifts. Try it a few more times. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now bring your hands on these two frontal hip bones. They're not the top of the hips. If you put your hands on your hips, the top of the pelvis. I'm referring to these frontal bony points a little bit more forward, and you can kind of really feel them, these landmarks, okay? So your left and right ASIS, or the anterior superior iliac spine, if you want to get technical. No biggie. But what I want you to feel now is with this awareness where these two ASIS bones are, as you exhale, imagine a string pulling them a little closer together. They're not really going to move, but you'll feel now some activation of some deeper muscles drawing in and up to basically support or collect this area. So practice with me again. Inhale through your nose, the ribs expand. The diaphragm descends. Exhale out through your mouth, the diaphragm lifts. Think of these hip bones moving closer together. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. Keep checking in with your balance, your posture. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax the shoulders. 2 more times. One more. Wonderful. And let that go and relax. Okay. So your homework till I'm with you on our next lesson this week is to practice finding your balanced posture, setting your awareness of pelvis level, ribs back, shoulders back and down, crown of the head back. Think of your chin drawing just a little bit down, and then breathing in this 3-dimensional breath. First of all, really allowing the ribs to expand, visioning or trying to encourage the sensation of the diaphragm moving. Don't worry if you don't feel it yet. It's a muscle, and we can strengthen the diaphragm like any other muscle. Then collecting these 2 frontal hip bones on those exhalations. So I'm not trying to do that by pushing my bum forward or squeezing, but it's a sense of gathering. So it's very different moving with these deeper core muscles without tucking or squeezing or compressing from the buttocks from around the hips. So I'll leave that with you to practice. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm here for you. Shoot me an email. Let me know what's going on. Leave a comment, and we will get back together next time for our second lesson. Bye for now.